Hey guys, Brian Schoaf here for BombasticEntertainment.com, and today, we're looking at the San Diego Comic-Con 2019 exclusive Batman vs. Predator box set based off the classic 1991 mashup from Dark Horse Comics by NECA Toys. This comic was one of my favorites as a kid. I was dreaming up Batman vs. Predator scenarios with my Batman and this Saurod figure from He-Man the Motion Picture. I always thought he looked kind of predatorish. And imagine my shock when, lo and behold, Dark Horse Comics put out an actual Batman vs. Predator comic. I was blown away. It was everything I had imagined and more. You had a Predator in Gotham City going about his grisly business, Batman doing his detective thing, running him down, and the whole thing builds up to a showdown of Hunter versus Hunter. It was mind-blowing to see something I had been fantasizing about realized in an official capacity. Flash forward 28 years, and here I'm holding in my hot little hands an actual licensed box set based off that very comic. Never in a million years did I think this would be a thing, but enough gushing and let's talk about these figures. The box is nothing special. For once, I'm not sure quite what they were going for with such a simplistic style. Get a couple of logos on the cover, and the whole rest of the box is black. Kind of reminds me of that martyr bag the Death of Superman comic came in. And open it up, and we have a window box, and you can see the figures inside. Not much to say. It's nothing fancy, but it works. All right, give me a minute to tear into this here. Okay, so each figure comes with some accessories, straight from the comic. Batman here has his tranquilizer gun, and that fits into his extra hand. He only has one extra hand, but it can hold both the gun and the baseball bat. And this piece right here is a face shield for his mask. It doesn't really plug in, it just kind of sits on his head, and as a result, it falls off pretty easy. I'd have preferred this to be glued in. If this guy goes shelf diving, this thing is just asking to get lost. And last we have Alfred's baseball bat. You get a spot of Predator blood on the side here. Not quite as nice as the blood effects on some of the Friday the 13th figures, but it's a nice detail nonetheless. Now the see-through slasher has a bit more kit. He has his smart disc. We've seen this with other Predators. This spear is pretty cool. It's not the combi stick. I can't quite place it. It might be unique to this guy. Probably not, but it's neat looking. He gets an extra set of hands, and these are always great for poses. Now, his shoulder cannon is kind of a hodgepodge. The pack is from the Jungle Hunter, but the plasma caster is the City Hunter. That's kind of a running theme with this guy, as we'll see in a minute. Most of his parts come from those two Predators. And last but not least, we have an unmasked head. They've done a few of these Dark Horse Predators now, and they've gotten pretty good at giving them this kind of comic-y pastel color scheme. It's vibrant without looking overly saturated. The comic-style deco really pops and gives these figures a unique identity, especially when you have them next to your movie Predators. So, like I was saying, most of the see-through slashers parts come from the Jungle and City Hunters. The mask and wrist blade is from Jungle, the leg and the shoulder armor is from City. So if you have these two figures, you already essentially have this guy. But in all fairness, this is how he was drawn in the comic, and they were probably referencing movie photos, so to write him off as lazy just isn't fair. The waist belt might be unique to this guy. Again, I'm not quite sure. I don't collect the Kenner homages, but I did just reread the comic. That's the belt 1-to-1. So that might be the only unique piece of kit on this Predator. The articulation is the same as those bodies, so as you'd expect if you have other NECA Predators, this is the new ultimate body style. Double jointed knees and elbows. Wrist gauntlet opens up, and that's all nicely painted inside. We've seen all this before, but it's a great figure and very accurate to his comic appearance, so you really couldn't ask for anything more in that department. Now, the main course here is this incredible Batman figure. He has this nice cloth cape, and it's cut pretty generously, so you can do everything you'd want like drape off his shoulders, classic Batman stuff, or just have it hang down. Very cool. Now, articulation-wise, he's pretty good, but not quite where the current Ultimate figures are at. His head has a large radius and can move around quite a bit. The armor is molded as a separate piece, so it has a good layered effect. These leg armors aren't held on by anything other than their natural pinch, and they're very prone to falling off. You can make them a little bit better if you just dunk them in some hot water and reinforce the pinch, but you'll probably want to glue them on because they do fall off easy and often. But back to articulation, the elbows are double jointed, and because the armor is flexible, it doesn't hinder the shoulder joint at all, which is usually a problem on these kind of figures. So I was pleasantly surprised by that. That's really nice. You also get bicep swivels, so the arms have a good range of motion. Now the knees are also double jointed, and down here the boots rotate. The feet are on pegs, so it's kind of like a mini ball joint. But they also have a toe joint, which is nice, so he can do some of these back set stances. Leg armor again. I'm telling you, that'll get old fast. The chest has a torso joint, but mine doesn't move a lot. Maybe some heat would free that up. Overall, it's a really nice figure. I think they took some liberties because it's a little more detailed than the comic, and the mask has just a slightly different character to it. But the changes are for the better, and the little details really help bring this figure to life. That's about it. This set is awesome. It's a great time to be a Predator collector. Some people are loving the Kenner homages, and those are great, but I wasn't into those kind of speculative figures as a kid. I wanted Predator figures based off the movie and the comics. And with this set, I have every Dark Horse Predator I ever wanted as a kid. You have Broken Tusk from the OG Alien vs. Predator, the See-Through Slasher from Dark Horse's first cross-brand Versus comic that started countless mashups, and of course the Bad Blood Predators from that classic series. Each one is a childhood dream come true. I know I've been gushing a lot in this review, but these figures really do hold a special place for me. And to be able to have an official Batman vs. Predator set, and not just my Batman vs. my Predator, is something really, really special. It's a shame they couldn't bring these to retail, and they were only a con exclusive. But we're lucky it exists at all, so here's hoping if you were after a set, you were able to grab one while they lasted. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below, or hit me up on the socials. And don't forget to check out our home on the web at bombasticentertainment.com to see what we're up to. Thanks for watching.